Yeah.
So yes, in the last session we spent some time creating some of the test cases, right? And we created a project, we created a suite, we created a test case, and in that what we did is we did some assertions, right?
Yes.
Assertions, and then we looked at XPath of the response that was generated, and we did assertions around that. So basically, we did work around these things. Yeah, so some contains, not contains, SOAP response, response SLA, then XPath match, and some of the functions. So we talked about XPath in details in the last session. So today, what we will do is we will, continue a little bit more on what we were doing, and then if time permits, either today or tomorrow, we will start with our automation. Okay, but before we do that, I think so, Kirti, you have already done Java. So today, maybe if you can join Java, it will be a refresher course for you. But the Java we are going to do for this will be a lot less than what you have already done in Selenium, because Selenium is hardcore programming. Fine.
Yeah.
And Groovy is very much like Selenium only. That is, Groovy is what we are going to use in SOAP UI. Okay.
Okay.
So last time, or I should say, in the last sessions when we did uh, UI, when we were making a SOAP UI, so we used to, okay, let me launch that. When we were running a web service, and when we were calling, there used to be a request response, and then we used to use various assertions to validate for the correctness of the response, right? That is what we did. And most of the time we were hard coding, so I'm just starting my web service so that I can show it to you. You people can also please do it with me. uh, so just 1 minute.
Sir, when we say we are starting the services, so those services like this endpoint which we have given in this Java program,
Hmm,
localhost 8889.
hmm.
So it is on my machine, like everybody's machine.
Yes,
We
yes,
have.
we have locally see, basically, as I told you, web service is a service which is running, right? So,
Yeah.
so there is a client and this is a server. So this is where your service is hosted, right? When you say question
Yeah.
mark WSDL, it gives you the WSDL. This is the
Yes.
endpoint or the publishing point of a web service, right?
Mhm.
So this should be up and running. I mean, so when we looked at, for example, in the first session, if you will remember, I was talking about this, that online calculator, I think so this was the one, right? So this is a
Yeah.
web services which is available online, which somebody must have deployed, and he has left it open for us to use it, right? So this is
Yeah.
the WSDL of that. Yes.
Yeah.
So this is up and running. It is somewhere on the internet. Okay.
Mm.
Similarly, currently we are accessing a web services which is locally running on your machine. It is
Yeah.
like you want to access Gmail. Okay, Gmail server will be running somewhere, right? So then, therefore, you can access Gmail. Similarly, in this case, this service has to be up and running on your local machine, right? Remember when
Okay.
we did add user, we used to start the server.
Yes.
Yes, same way we did this one. Okay,
Yeah.
so once we are done with starting the once we are done with starting the service, we will now I'll open my SOAP API, so you people also can please do it with me. If it is not still done, please start your service, and so let us start the SOAP UI also. All of you started?
Yes.
Okay, so just 1 minute. Okay, so last time what we did is we had some services created. Now, today we are going to continue working on what we had done. Okay, so just 1 minute. Where is that automation? This one. Okay, so let's say okay, either just let me send one mail to Smita. Okay, so Kirti Pallavi, last time what we did is suppose this was an add functionality. So as I said, we have a project. Let's say demo. It has a suit has a test case, and it has steps, right? So I have created a step called add, which is to add a user in the system, right? So if you click on this arrow, this user will get added, and you will get a true value. So that afterwards, when you say get all, you will, this is a get all. If you execute this, you will see the values which you have inserted, right, Kirti?
Yeah.
Now what we are going to do is, see, so far you have been hard coding this value. So now I'm going to talk about this properties, how we can make use of. So when we were talking in the last session, there are a few things which uh, we had not covered. We are going to look at how we make use of SOAP UI properties. We can define properties at project level, suite level, and test case level, right? So what does it mean? It means that that suppose I have a project. So as you saw in this case, every time we have to add, I end up hard coding these values, right? Yeah. Now one way to deal with this is that I can select the project. So demo is the name of my project, test suite is the name of my suite, and this is the name of my test case, right? So let's select the project here. If I click on custom property, right, there is an option to click on the plus. Can you see add a property to the property list? Yeah. So if you click on that, I will call it something, let's say uh, p underscore age. I'm putting a p so that I know that it is at project level, and value I'll make it 100, right? Now once I'm done with this, what I can do is I will go here, I will delete this value, and I'll right click here, and you will see get data. Can you see the get data option? Yeah.
Yes.
And then if you will go to project here, so can you see p underscore age, the same value which I have inserted or I just created in front of you? Yes, I'll click on that, and it will insert that value dynamically from the properties file or the custom property file which I have created, right? So one we have created at project level. Now let me create at suite level. Okay, so I will go to custom properties, add. So I'll call it suit underscore id. You can give it any name. I'm giving it suit underscore id so that I can know the difference of IDs. I'll make it 5000 for example, and I'll click somewhere out. I'll delete this. I'll right click. I'll say get data. I'll go to suit here. Can you see suit underscore ID? I'll put that. Now I'll remove this name. So name, I'll do it at project level. Let's say I'll go to custom properties. I'll click here. Now I'll create. This is test on test case underscore name, right? I'll say API 100. You can give any value. I'll go here. I'll right click and say get data. So we are at test case, right? So in the test case add, can you see test case underscore name, right? Is that right? Pallavi, Smita and Kirti?
Yes.
Yes.
Pallavi, so Smita, what I'm trying to do is that I was saying that initially we used to hard code the values here, right?
Yeah.
Now I have created custom properties by
Mm-hmm.
clicking on the project. There is
Mm-hmm.
a custom properties option. I can
Mm-hmm.
put that here. Similarly, project level, suit level and test case level we can do, right? Now if I run this one, you will see that it has got inserted successfully, right? Now what is the benefit of having done this is that if you define a property at different levels as you have just seen, then
Mm-hmm.
project level property can be used by all the suit level can be used by all the projects, right? And
Yeah,
project
it's
level
like a
can be,
global scope, right?
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Okay, so can we please try this? Can you all of you please try this if it works for you? Yeah, so all of you have got your Eclipse and SOAP UI up and running, right? Smita, Kirti,
Yes.
Pallavi?
Yes.
Yeah, please.
I think I need to check. Sorry, I just got a little late. I
Yeah,
just stepped in the house.
okay, yeah, please next time join on time, okay, Smita?
Yeah, if I'm late next time, I'll just take it from my phone.
Okay, yeah, you can take
I
from
can
phone
translate.
also, yeah. Yeah, that is
Mhm.
also possible. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, please start your workspace and try it out quickly.
So when we select project, we need to
You
add
have
project
to
properties.
you have to
No,
go to custom.
custom only.
On that there is a plus sign here.
Yeah.
Done?
Yes.
What about you, Pallavi and Smita?
No, I'm still on it actually.
Pallavi, Smita, share your screen.
Yeah, one sec. I'm just trying to open my, run my web service first.
Okay, so while these people are still trying it, what you can do, Kirti, yours is done, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so now what you can do is go to the step. So under test case, this is a test case, right? There is a test step option. Right click on that and say add step, and there will be an option to add. So uh, let me delete this one first, right? So you can add a step also. Can you see here? Add
Yeah.
step properties and give it any name. So I'll call it test underscore step underscore PROPERTIES.
Mm.
Right now here, do you see a plus sign?
Yeah.
So here give whatever test underscore TP underscore ID, and let's make it 2000 for now,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
After you are done with this, now here I will keep age can be same, ID should be different while adding, right? So I will right click here, I'll go to get data. Can you see test step properties?
Yeah.
Yes, I'll select this. Okay,
Mm.
so can you try with this? So basically the idea is that if it is a project level, it can be used by all the suits. If it is suit level, it can be used by all the test cases,
Okay.
right? But if it is step level, it can be used within this step. So test step has one, these are the steps, right? So it can be used by add, soap request. I can add multiple add
Yeah.
step here, right? Make sense?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Um, can I share my screen
Yes,
and look
yes,
into it?
please do that. Okay, now write, 1 second. Just give me control. Select your project, highlight demo, click on demo first. Yeah. Now, can you give me, okay, just drag it up a little bit. Yeah, 1 second, I'll do it. Yeah,
Mhm.
drag it up, drag it up. Okay, now wait. So if you will go to custom here,
Mhm.
click on custom. Pallavi, what about you? Click on plus sign.
Yeah,
Give,
I'm
give it,
trying the test step level.
uh, give it some name. So I'll call it P underscore. I'll call it P underscore name, and give any name value in the name. Yeah. Now go to your test suite top. Yeah, test suite. Yeah. Go to again custom properties. Click on plus. Make it suite underscore ID. Give it some name, ID 100 or something, whatever you want to give. Yeah. Now go to the test case. Test case add. Yeah. Go to custom properties and add. Yeah. Name. No, name you already gave, right? Make it age.
Okay.
Test underscore age.
Okay, so all three different.
Yeah. We will use all different. Yeah. Age. Give it any age. Okay. Now expand your test steps. Expand your test steps. Yeah. Double click on add. So here we are going to use these attributes. Initially it was hard coded, right, Smita?
Yeah.
So let it open. Yeah, so I'll just I'll delete this. I will delete this, and I will delete this also. Yeah, so here I am going to right click and say get data. So it is age, right? So age which we define at test case level. Can you see this?
Yeah.
And then I will say age. Click on that. So it is got added. Can you do for ID and name also?
Yeah.
Pallavi, is it done for you?
Yes, it's done.
Okay. So try the test step property also. Did you try that?
Yeah, that's also good.
Okay, fine. So
Sir, I have one, like I'm not able to maximize one window. Can I share my
just 1
screen?
minute. Yeah, click on
Yeah.
that ID. Choose the ID. This is age you
Oh,
have.
okay.
Yeah, stop sharing now. You can try it yourself, right, Smita?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, share your window, Kirti. Stop sharing, Smita. Yeah, Kirti.
Yes.
Which
Can you
window
see my
you?
screen? Sir, this custom properties, I'm not sure how to do this.
You have to drag it up actually. Just take the mouse here slowly, or no, wait. Don't do it in hurry. It takes. Give me control. So can you see if you slowly move your mouse, then it becomes arrow type, right? Now
Okay.
you drag it.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, this is the purpose of having done is that you might as well want to define external properties and then eventually use them. Now, one good reason why you could do this or why you should do this is that let's say so far we have been hard coding, right? But let's say you can also define external file with an extension dot properties file. Kirti, you will know what is a properties file. We looked at in the framework development, right?
Yeah.
So if you go to suite, Kirti, not Kirti, Smita, are you good?
Yeah. Yeah. It's working for me.
Yeah. So if you go to either project level or suite level or test case level or wherever you want to go, you can go to that properties and there is an option to export it or import it, right? So if you
Yeah.
export it, let's say I'm exporting this file, I can store it somewhere. Where should I store it? So let me store it. Uh, let me store it here in the location of the project. So in my case, it is Anchorasia Automation Architect API testing. Here I will store. Okay, so in this path, I will go. Here I will call it some properties API dot PROPERTIES, right? So if you will go in here, can you see this API dot properties?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you open it, it will contains the properties file of the so what label I had selected, test case label. This is a test case. So for that test case, the custom property has got exported, right? Similarly, you can choose to even export, right? So you can try it out later. You can have a key value pair. So left is a key followed by equal to sign and a value, right?
Okay. Okay.
So this way, you can have a key value pair and you can choose to import also, right? So I
Right.
can for load property from an external file, you can browse that file and uh, you can see all of them appearing here, right? So instead of having to hard code the values here in this tags, you can import export, and this makes your work pretty easy because a lot of times data might be available or easy to maintain in external files. So for example, this is like creating test data, right?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
So you have the test data in place, and with that data you can perform the testing that you are looking to do. Fine.
But I have a question here. So we are basically we need to create a structure of what all properties we want in the SOAP UI first, and then provide other file as an input, and that will contain obviously our dynamic data, right? But we need to create the
Structure
structure.
meaning that it has to be a key value pair.
Oh, that's it. So then it will automatically map those key
Yes, yes.
values to
So
the properties
if you
in
had
SOAP.
seen this, so it's a key equal to value. There is no structure. A equal to B, C equal to D. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Nothing, and there is nothing special about this. It's just a key and the
Yeah.
corresponding value. Once you do it like this,
Mm-hmm.
uh, then you can just load the file into your SOAP UI at whatever level you want to. Right now, one thing maybe I believe you would have understood by now, but I'll still repeat it, that if you will, so basically, what is the structure of the project that we are creating in the SOAP UI is that it is project. Project can have multiple suits, right?
Yeah.
Suit can have uh, test case, test
Mm-hmm.
case, test case, test case, and you can have steps,
That's
right?
right.
So
Yeah.
steps. So it makes all this. It makes sense that whatever is defined, the global properties or custom properties which you define here at the project level is visible to suit, right?
Yeah.
And same goes. It is visible to test case and step also, right? So you can access the value from top to the towards bottom, right? There is no problem. So this is very obvious. Suit
Yeah.
can access properties, test case can access properties, custom properties, right? But reverse, it is not possible, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is pretty obvious. Okay, so that was regarding, and I also told Smita, these people, and I believe you must have also seen that, like you can create at step properties by going to custom properties at test case level. You can also add a step. Step is how do you do it? You right click here, you go to
That's
add step and properties,
oh,
right?
okay.
And it will create this property. Here you can define a key value pair, right? And it
Mm.
can be only used by the steps under this test step.
Right.
Okay, so this is how we make use of the properties, or we define the global properties. Fine. So then we have seen this. I explained this. Importing, exporting also I have explained. Okay, now next thing what we are going to do is what we are going to do. Okay, so let's again go back here. Just 1 minute. Okay, so suppose you try to create a step one. Step one is to send a request. Okay, and the request goes all the way from your UI to the service, and you get a response, right? Now this is step one, to add a user, and then maybe step two is to basically get that user or get all or whatever. So let's say get. Okay, now we will try to do a, a scenario wherein we can, whatever value we are defining here. So let's say you are adding a user with ID 100, right? I want to be able to use this value here to get that also, right? currently we are hard coding. So what I'm going to call it is I'm going to call it end-to-end transfer. End-to-end transfer meaning that you take a value and put it in so take the value which you defined here, for example, in the request, and use the same value in the response. So don't worry, I will explain this to you, it will become clear. So just let me go back here. Let's actually try to do it so that you will understand what I am saying. So uh, let me first show you existing working example, and then we'll also try ourselves. So if you will go to this project, add user here, test suite is there. There is an end-to-end. Can you see this end-to-end? So this is a test case which has test step. One of them has a property transfer. Can you see this, Kirti?
Yes, yes,
How do we add it? We go to add step. So these are the
yeah,
test step: add, delete, get. Okay. So let me do one thing. Let me create a suite. Under the suite, I'll create one new test case and I'll call it end to end. And okay, I'll call it TEST. So let's call this end to end, right? Now I have this end to end. In this, I'll add my first test step, which is SOAP request is to add a user in the system. So for that, I'll add and I'll say okay, right? So my first test case is created, and then next is to again a SOAP request to get that user back, right? To display it, right? So this we have already tried. Now, okay, I will rename it, add and get. Let me rename it. So these two things we have already tried. Now there is one additional file here, if you will see, additional step which I'm going to call add property transfer, right? So property transfer meaning that I'm transferring the property of a file or a SOAP request in add to get. So I will call it PROPERT underscore TRANSFER, and I'll say okay. Right now, if you will see here in this, uh, just so I'm using that response text. Okay, so what I'm going to do, will make this is, where is my get and then delete. Okay, so let me just explain it once here and then I'll write it. So suppose if you will see this file here in front of you, there is a source and there is a target. Can you see here? Source is here at the top and target is here, right? So source is from where you want to get the content and target is where you want to set that value. Okay, so uh, let me do one more thing. I have done add, I have done get, and then I'll add one more method here which I'll call soap request del, means delete functionality. So delete. Okay, so first of all, let me manually go and just add a user to the system. So I will open this. Add is age is 10, ID is also 10, and I will say NAME, name is API, right? So let me go ahead and just run this first. Let's see. Yeah, it is added successfully. Let me get it with 10 here, and yes, so it is in our system. Now what I'm going to do is, with this example, that whatever I defined in get here, which is a value 10, can you see here, Smita, 10 is defined.
yeah,
I'm going to take this value and pass it into delete using this property transfer.
okay,
Okay, so so let's double click on this. Here I'm saying what is my source. Okay, first of all, I have to click here on the namespace. What has happened? Okay, so first of all, you have to give it a name. So I'll call it P1, right? I click on the plus sign and I give it P1. Here I'm saying the source is the get. You can choose any one of them, right? So I'm choosing this get, which is the property I want to get. I want to use response and XPath. Now what does it mean? It means that for the get request which I'm sending, get will fetch the data, the out. So let me go here. So what I am doing is, so I'm performing a get. There is a request which I send and response which I get back, right? Yes, Smita?
Yeah.
So that is what I'm specifying here. So there is a get is the source or the step, response is the response which is coming back, and what I'm using XPath language. There is other options, but we'll use XPath. I'll click here on the namespace, right? Namespace, because these are the namespace which is getting used by the namespace I have already explained to you in the previous discussion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm saying declare namespace. Here ns1 equal to this, and where is this coming from? If you will go to the get, it will be, actually no, you have to define namespace 2. So let me copy this, let me copy this one, and I will go back here. I don't need this. I will just put this here. So it is ns2 declare namespace 2 equal to this value is right. Now why am I doing all this? Because when I try to get of this, so take it to, let's take it to that website. What was that website? Xpather, right? Xpather. If I delete this from here, and if I put here slash slash this, if I put this value slash return slash uh, id, right, slash txt, right? So this is the value I'm going to get, isn't it? This we had seen last time in the previous discussion, right? Pallavi,
Yeah.
Smita,
Yeah.
Sandeep. Okay, so that is the, so we have to define namespace because we are getting fetching the detail from ns2 slash of this, right? So I define that namespace here. So I'll go back. I'm saying namespace is this, and which value I want to fetch? I want to fetch this value which corresponds to the ID, right? So let me uh, click on the type it here. So it will fetch this value called 10 for me, right? Now having done that, now target is, so this is, I'm going to put target here, which is delete method. Next one, property, which property I want to set it in? Property is request, meaning I'll go here request. So whatever is coming from here, what I am trying to do is, I will explain this whole thing again later. So this request data which is coming, I want to put it in, sorry, response data, which is ID, I want to put it in the del, inside del, I want to put it in request, right?
Yes.
So that is what I'm trying to do here. So let me just move it back. So if I go back, request XPath, and what is this going to be? I will remove the namespace. I'll go here, delete. So I will, what is the namespace here? I will simply say, okay, so XML SOAP environment. Okay, here Just 1 minute. So what is the del here in this namespace soap? So in this case it is soap. So I will go here. So can you see this namespace is soap? This one is getting used, right? So I will have to copy this one. I will go back in my property transfer. I will again put namespace here, but I'll remove this and I'll say namespace soap equal to SOAP soap equal to, I'll copy this and I'm going to put it here in the single quote here, right? So that's all I need, and I can remove rest of the things. I don't need this and I don't need this also, right? So none of this is required. Okay, here namespace 2 it was, right? Now what? So I'm sending it to the request, but to which field I'm sending it to? If you will go here, I'll just copy and paste it file. I'll copy and paste it in this one, right? Now here, if I have to reach to that, I will say age. I want to go to age, right? So I am going to simply say slash 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 soap slash age of 0, right? So it will delete person slash age, sorry, arg 0, right? So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to put it here. So where is my property transfer? I'll put it here, right? Make sense, all of you?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll try it once again. I will show to you, don't worry. Okay, so what I'm doing is basically I have created a property transfer file so that it can transfer the content of get file here or get step here and whatever is coming in the response. So get response is basically I'm getting the ID, right? I believe ID. So this ID text, I'm passing it, or target is to the del method or del step, and the request of that, this is the request, right? This whole
Yes.
thing is the request, and I'm passing it in the arg0, right? That is what we are trying to do, right? So let me run this. I'll execute this, run selected property transfer. So can you see the property P1 transfer happened 10? If I go and see, look at the del, can you see this has got auto populated for me?
Yes.
Yes, guys?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will explain once again what I have done, and I will send. So what I'm doing is I right click here, say add step, and I add a property transfer. Okay, so the purpose of this is that you want to transfer of so let's say you have a, so you execute a get test case, and whatever the output is coming in the response, you have to take a value and pass it as an input to something else. Right? So for that we use property transfer. Okay, you right click and add property transfer here like this, then you give it some name. I give it name P1. In that I said that my source is get and response is this response is I'm getting the data from the response, and XPath I'm using. I declare a namespace, okay, and I give the XPath, and in the target I say that I want to pass it to the del step in the request, and again I'm using XPath. So when I execute this using this green color, a green arrow, it will pass the value of the response there in the del in this particular request here, right? Make sense, guys? Can we try this?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what I will do is, okay, so let's try it out. So what Kirti will share her screen and try it for us, and we all will do one step by step. So Kirti, you will do it slowly so that
Yeah.
others can also keep up with you, okay? So share Kirti. So first of all, create a new test. Create under test suite. Create a new test case. No, that's okay. No, let it be.
I
Yeah,
will create one
minimize it.
end-to-end.
You can create a new suite if you want. Let's create a new suite. Right click on this. So end-to-end suite. Call it end-to-end suite. Make it suite -suite also. Okay. Now add a new test case. New test case. Up. Again, yeah. No. This is a test case. Add is a step. So make it end-to-end test case. E2E if you want to call it E2E. Yeah. Test. This is a test case. Yeah. Okay. So let's wait for wait 1 second. So others, can you please come up till here? All of you, Smita, Pallavi, and Sandeep. Sandeep.
Yeah.
Yeah, please, all of you. I'm deliberately making you do in the session. Otherwise, you might miss it later. Let's wait for a few
Yeah.
seconds. Okay, I'm waiting for all of you to please let me know once you are done, okay?
For me, the SOAP UI is still opening actually.
Sorry,
Uh,
can you
Still
share?
open.
Yeah, share your screen. Kirti,
Yes.
stop sharing, Kirti. Yeah, share your screen.
It's still opening for me. I'm
Oh,
not
that
sure.
tool
That,
is you had
yeah,
not launched. Okay.
yeah.
Okay, fine. Kirti, yeah, let's continue. Can you stop sharing, Sandeep? Yeah, Kirti.
Yeah.
Okay, so after that, we'll create test step 1. So right click on the test step, not here. Yeah, you can say like this also. Add step. Yeah, call it add. Yeah, okay. In the drop down, add. Yeah, okay. Add one more. Say okay here. Now one more step. Add and get and delete. Yeah, so make it, call it get. So get person, last one. Yeah, and then okay, and then delete. One delete we will do. Okay. Okay, and one more step. Say right click.
Add, get, and delete.
Right click, yeah.
Property
Yeah,
transfer, right?
property transfer. Give it any name, whatever you want to do. Give. Call it get to delete. Get to delete. You are passing from get to delete. Okay. Click OK. Now, just maximize this window. Yeah. So click on plus sign. Yeah. Give it some name, whatever you want to do. Yeah. Now source is your get. So select the get. Go to property response. You get an XPath. But before you do that, can we? Okay. So in that get, so perform an add operation. Just perform an add operation and add a entry into the system. Click on the add step. Double click add step. Add left kid. Not here.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Down. Add.
Add steps, right?
No, double click on that. We'll add a entry into the system. 1 second. Give me control. Click on this add. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Add an entry. Give age ID and also add the tag called name. Give any age and ID. Name tag NAME.
Sorry.
NAME. E. Make this spelling correct. Yeah. And hit yeah. Now go to get the ID 11. Double click on that get 11 ID 11 and run it. Okay, now why did I make you do this is because when you're performing that property transfer, that response data should be there. Otherwise, how will it be able to move it to that, right? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, now go to here. Now go here. So response now. 1 second. Before that, go to your get again. Go back to get and copy that namespace to XML namespace. Copy that. Yeah, just copy it. Take it back. Yeah, copy it and yeah. Now click on that NS. Don't do yeah NS. Yeah, hit enter. Okay, just say okay. Now underneath that copy paste what you had put. Yeah. So now 1 second I'll do it. So here actually NS2. So I will declare NS2 with this particular value in the single quote, right? So I will take this.
It's same, I think.
It is so okay. If it is same, yeah, then you can leave it. And we don't need the first one, although you can keep it, but we don't need the first one. So I will delete that. Okay. Now take the response and put it in XPather. Take the response of get. Double click on that. Open response. Open xpather.com. Okay. Now wait. So can we see if others have also reached up till here? 1 second. Just Kirti, 1 minute.
Yeah.
You can type your XPath if you want to. Can you stop sharing? Pallavi, can you show your screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so did you also create that add is done that? So you perform add operation you did?
Yeah.
Okay. Then get also you did. Did you execute it? Okay. Now next is this one. So
So I'm
namespace.
getting an error. I think this
Remove the
namespace.
semicolon. Remove the semicolon at the top in the get. Remove it here. This. Okay. Okay. So you are following namespace code. So no, here go to the del del test case. Double click on the del left side.
Okay, okay.
Your test step. Double click. You have to drag to the right. Drag to the right.
This one, S1S.
Drag right meaning I want to see the right side of the.
Okay, 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 okay.
So there is a soap. Did you take this soap only?
No, okay.
Take this namespace you have to put.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go back to the property transfer. Go back to property transfer. Come down. Yeah. Control V. Change it. Okay. So namespace is this one. You have to change. Okay, fine.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Stop sharing your screen. Smita, share your screen. Sandeep, is it started for you? Your workspace. Smita, please share.
Started. Eclipse is not started yet.
Okay, Sandeep, next time please join on time because otherwise you have missed so much today.
Right.
Okay, Smita, go to your. Did you perform an ad already? Yeah, you seem to have done all of it. So, go to get. Double click on get step. Yeah. Somebody is having some background disturbance. Who is that? I don't know. Can you mute? Is it Pallav? Okay, so perform. No, not get all persons. We are looking at just get. Delete this. Delete the step. So delete this. Yeah. Create a get. Yes, say yes. Add step. So request get. Say okay. In the get person last one. Say okay. Okay. So first of all, add a user quickly. So you have added. Yeah. Make it any number. Add name tag also. Add name tag also. Lowercase Smita. Lowercase name is lowercase. Okay, and delete. No, Smita, that is 1 second. Do it slowly. Yeah, and there is one name at the bottom, Smithal. Remove that also. Okay, run it. So true. Now get it. Double click on get. Get it with 201. ARG. Wait. 201. Say get. So the data is there, right? Now go to get to del property transfer. Okay, now here namespace is from the add. Go back to add. Not like this. Wait. First of all, 1 second. First of all, you delete all this. First click on this so that you will get the syntax how to do it, right? Then you go to, this is add. So this should be our get, right? We are doing it from get, isn't it? So we will go here. We'll go to from the get. What is the namespace? Copy this from here to here, right? I'll copy this and I'll come back here. I'll put it here. So it is namespace 2 equal to Okay, now take your so this is a get response, right, Smita? An XPath. Where is the get response? You take it and it put it in XPather and get me the ID XPath. Can you do that quickly? So Pallavi and Kirti, are you done?
Yeah, I'm doing, sir. I thought
Okay,
I need
sorry.
to.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought, okay, yeah, please go ahead and do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
continue, Kirti. Yeah. So,
Yes, I have done, but I'm still getting that syntax error.
okay, share your screen.
Okay.
Smita, please stop sharing.
So on XPather, when I copy the next tag, why the previous tag disappears from the above window?
Who is this? Kirti?
Kirti, yeah.
Yeah, one second. I'll see your screen. Okay, just now I'm
Okay.
looking at Pallavi. So, what is the error you're getting? Syntax. See, uh, Pallavi, it's clearly in front of you. You have to say in the target declare namespace, right?
Yeah.
Like you did in the source, same way you have to do here also, right? Declare
Okay, okay,
namespace
okay. Yeah.
and then soap equal to,
Oh, okay, okay, fine, fine.
yeah,
Okay.
do that. Stop sharing screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kirti, share your screen. Yeah.
Okay. So
So
what I wanted to ask is
wait. Yeah,
just a
I'll tell you the mistake you're doing. So we are defining the namespace starting from the NS2, right?
okay. Yeah.
And I told you relate in relative path, give me control. In the relative path, you can simply do it from like this, right?
Okay.
So if you hit enter, it still gives you the, so you have to put this one.
Okay.
Yeah, copy and paste it there. Hit enter and next line. Yeah, and then next one is target is uh, delete. Properties request. Okay, and uh, yes, do that. But it will do it in both. So delete from the yes, and change this namespace. Yeah, remove the first entry, second entry, keep it and change it according to, I think it is soap. So it is soap, right? And as namespace soap, yeah. Just take soap, yeah, do whatever.
So from here, NS1, from here I need to change, right?
Yes, yes. No, so NS1, change it to soap, SOAP.
Yeah, I have copied.
So generally avoid copying because it brings
Okay.
double quotes and all that. Okay, so for now I'll do it. Just remove the semicolon at the end and put it in single quotes. Right now, give the X path of that element where you want to insert it. Go to XPath, take that delete request to the XPather and find out the XPath of that.
So here I can
You
start.
can use it from anywhere. So since you are starting the from soap, right? So take it from soap delete %/arg0.
Okay.
arg0.
Yeah.
Okay, so copy and then put it there. Yeah, and now run it. So do you see the transfer happening?
Yes.
11. Now go to your delete. Do you see a value there? Okay, so guys, I have explained this 3 times, in fact 4 times. One I have done, 3 times I have helped 3 of you. So if you are still struggling, please try it after the class. We'll continue with the next discussion. Okay, if you still face problem, we'll discuss it separately. Okay, let's take our first break for 10 minutes. I'll come back in 10 minutes and we'll resume our classes. Guys, girls, let me know if you people are back.
I'm here.
I'm back.
Smita, Sandeep,
Yeah, I'm here too.
Sandeep. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so we have seen how we do the data transfer, and we will come back, and so we saw this. In fact, okay, so end to end we have seen all the properties, right? This also we saw. Okay. Now, Smita, do you know basic of core Java programming?
Yeah.
It's very basic. Okay. Now,
Hmm.
what we are going to do is we have to use Groovy scripting. Okay. Now, as far as Groovy scripting is concerned, it is very much like core Java programming. So I will give you people a quick refresher of core Java. So Pallavi, you also know core Java, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So are you comfortable with what is a function and what is an all and what is class, what is object?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smita, you also?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So in that case, what we will do is then we will just spend some time trying few things in Groovy, and post that we will use Groovy in our automation purposes. Okay. So so first of all, what we will do is Groovy is a scripting language. So if you want to read more, I have created a blog here. You can come down in this one. So UI, API. So just 1 minute. If you will come here to API automation. If you come down here, Apache Groovy. So I have created a small write-up from one of the websites so that we have the basic knowledge or idea of Groovy. What is a Groovy? Groovy is a scripting language which is very much similar to Java. If you know Java, Groovy is very much easy for you. Okay, so we will go through this discussion on Groovy, and then we will see how we use Groovy in SOAP UI for performing our automation. Right. So first of all, what we will do is we'll install a Groovy plugin. Sandeep, are you there? Sandeep? Okay, so
Yeah, yes, sir.
okay,
I'm
so I'm starting with Groovy. So is your Eclipse up and running, Sandeep? Is your Eclipse running, Sandeep? We need Eclipse.
yes, yeah, it's ready. I
Okay,
was on mute.
fine. So let's do one thing. Can you please share your screen? We'll do the setup on your machine today.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Just
So what we are going to do is Groovy is a scripting language. Now, okay, before we do that, just 1 minute, Sandeep. Let me explain few things and then I will give you control. So,
sure.
so guys, I know you all know Java, but I have already taught Kirti, so she knows what I'm going to discuss for next 5 minutes. But other people also should know, right? Now, what is meant by that is. So when I install Java, what exactly happens? I would like you people to know about that. So generally, as a practice, what we do is we'll click on exe and say next, 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 and installation is done. But we tend to miss out on few things. which I think you should all know of, and it is very important. So I'm going to do installation of Java in front of you, and I will show you the distinction between JDK and JRE. Okay, so they are two different things. So let me go to my downloads. I will go to Selenium. Okay, here I have my Java. So can you see I have a Java 64-bit Sandeep here? So if you have,
Yes.
or any one of you have already done installation, you will double click it and then simply say next, next, next. But there are a few things I'm going to explain about this to you. So let's see that. And maybe Kirti, you are aware of this, but it will be a revision for you. So I have clicked on it and it's taking a little time to launch. Okay, so this is my pop-up. I'll say next. Okay, now here generally it stores or it is installed in program files. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change it to a different directory here. Why I'm doing that? Because I already have earlier installation, so I don't want to overwrite it. I'll copy this and I'll change this directory here to I'll make it Java 8, or I'll make it like this, Java 8, and then okay, so I'm installing it in this folder Java 8. I'll say okay. Okay, so if you will observe carefully, I'm installing JDK first, right, Pallavi? There are two parts in Java,
Yeah.
JDK and JRE. I'm installing JDK, and then I'll say next. Okay, so JDK installation is in process. Now, while the installation is going on, now that you people are going to become or are already doing automation, there are a few things you should know of. So if you go to JDK, JD Java. Okay, so you can go to Java point. There is Java tip point. There is a good description about what is JDK and JRE. So this is how the diagram is. When you install your Java JDK, it contains two things. Okay, so let me explain it here. So our installation of JDK is in progress, right? Just yeah. So our installation of JDK is in progress. So JDK is actually, this JDK contains JRE, this JRE plus this is there, right? So JDK is equals to JRE plus other tools, which are this Java C and Java tools, some development tools, TOOLS, right? So why I'm explaining this to you is because so we, when we want to compile a code, Pallavi, we say Java C and name of the file, right? When
Right.
we want to run it, we say Java and name of the file. So all this comes under development tools like Java C, Java, right? I'm just showing that to you where it is getting stored. Okay. Then for running for compiling your code, you need Java C, Java compiler, which is nothing but this Java C here, as you can see, right? But when you run a program, you need JRE, Java Runtime Environment, isn't it?
Yes.
Now we generally interchangeably call JRE and JVM as same, but exactly JRE is another piece of code which contains JVM plus some other files which is used to run the program. Okay, Pallavi?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is how the structure of your JDK and JRE is. So one second, I will just show something else to you. So here my JDK installation is done, right? Now after that it will prompt me to install a JRE also. So just once, let's see. Okay, now it is prompting me to, can you see it is prompting to install JRE? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will change this directory and I'll install it in my D drive, Java 8 here. Okay, first of all, let me create a folder. So let me go here and I'll create a folder by this name. New JRE. Right, so I'll go back here again. I'll come on my D drive, Java JRE, right? So now I have installed JDK and JRE into separate folders. So this is what is meant by JDK, and JRE is for running the program. So as you can see now from this installation that you may choose to only install JDK or only JRE or both of them depending upon whatever you are trying to do. So for JDK is basically used for compiling the code and JRE is required when you want to run your program, right? So this is the distinction between JDK and JRE. Okay, now having said that, there is one more thing I will show to you. So for that I will launch my another okay. Okay, so okay, so let me launch my Eclipse again. I will open an Eclipse. Now if you will open Eclipse, let's say I'm opening a different version of Eclipse so that I can do plugin installation in front of you. Okay, I don't need this SOAP UI. I can close this. Okay, so I think our installation is done, almost done. So here we get JDK JRE. So this is a distinction you should know of. Generally, people do not know this, but you should be aware of since you are planning to learn automation now. Right, so let's okay, so I'm opening my workspace now. Let me launch my workspace. So okay, so this is installed successfully. I'll say close. So my Java installation is done, right? So I have told you the difference between JDK and JRE. Now I will tell you that how we choose the path of, I mean, generally Eclipse will find it for you, the default or the installation path of JDK, JRE and all that stuff. But uh, uh, once you get into automation, you will be using these tools very often. So you should know how to do configuration of JDK, JRE and all that stuff. So I'm just trying to show that to you. It's taking time to open. Okay, meanwhile, Kirti, can you share your screen if we have the, I can show it on your machine. Can you share your screen, Kirti?
Yes.
Okay, so bring up your, bring up your Eclipse. Okay, now what we will do is, so I'll take the control. Okay, now right click on that project, connect to tech INSOAP RPC, right click on that, go to properties. Okay, no, you select at the root level, Kirti, select the root of the project. Yeah,
This one.
right click, properties. Now So if you go to Java build path, okay, now just 1 minute. So do you see that there is a JRE here, right?
Yes.
So this is how it picks up the JRE from this path. So Eclipse will find it on your machine and try to install it, or not install it, use it from this directory. What you can also do, so you have the Selenium classes JDK this. So what you can do is, suppose you remove this, right? If you want to change it to some other location or other installation that you have, you can say add library, right? You go to JRE system library, and so this is the default, or you can alternate JRE, you can choose, you can go to install JREs. So in your machine you have it here installed, right? You can click on add, and you can go to next standard VM and go to the directory and choose the directory location. Fine. And then you can select. So this got either selected by default, or you must have done it manually. So you have to choose this path. Fine, Kirti.
Yeah.
So this is how you can choose a JRE, which is used to run your program. So when you run this project, this is specific to a project. So
Yes.
when you run this project, what is actually happening, it is using this JRE to run the program. Fine.
Mm.
Then next is compiling. So compiler, you oh, we had, okay, it's already there. Okay, fine. If you go to compiler, so which compiler is getting used? So by default in this, it is making use of 1.8. Can you see? Yeah. So you can choose this enable project specific setting, and you can choose a different compiler to compile your code, right? So 1.8 means Java 1.8, 1.7. So we'll leave it at 1.7, sorry, 1.8 only. So this is how you choose different options of a compiler and a JRE when you are running, when you're compiling and running your program. Okay. Now what we are going to do is, since we are going to use Groovy for our automation purposes, for now you can stop this web services. So I will click here to stop. Now we'll install a plugin of Groovy. So go to help, Kirti. Go to help, go to Eclipse Marketplace. And others also, please do it with Kirti. So go to help and go to Eclipse Marketplace and type here Groovy, Groovy,
Why?
VY, Groovy, Groovy, and search, hit enter or search. Okay, wait now, please. So Sandeep and others, are we here? Are we all on reached here till now? Pallavi, Smita,
Just
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, all of you found this?
Yeah.
Okay, Sandeep, what about you?
1 second.
Yeah, can you share your screen, Sandeep? Can you stop sharing, please? Okay, go to help. Go to Eclipse Marketplace. Search for Groovy, Groovy. Okay, so click on install. Okay, so this will take a little while depending upon the internet speed. So confirm. Can you? There is a confirm button at the bottom, right? Okay, so uncheck. So let it be only just select the first one. Don't select the second one.
Okay.
and say confirm. Others also please do that. Confirm it. Yeah. So this takes a little while depending upon your internet speed.
Okay.
Yeah. So accept the license and say finish. Okay. So what we are doing is we are installing Groovy plugin. Groovy plugin meaning that Eclipse
Mm-hmm.
by itself doesn't allow you to code Groovy, right? But when you install Groovy plugin, we can create Groovy projects in Eclipse. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So after some time it will prompt that there is unsigned certificate. Do you want to continue and all that? Say yes, and you have to restart. It will ask to restart the Eclipse. So we'll restart and then proceed.
Okay.
Others, Smita, have you started? Pallavi, have you also started?
Yeah.
Okay. It will take a little while actually. It takes a little while.
Naresh, just while
Yeah.
it's installing, what was the first part we covered in first 20
Okay.
minutes? I
So
missed that.
first part we covered how we create project level properties,
Okay.
suite level properties. It has no relation with what we'll do now and tomorrow, but please
Okay.
revise that. Okay.
Yeah, I will do that.
Yeah. So I'll share the recording after 10-15 minutes. You can go through it.
I guess it's taking too much time.
Yeah, it takes time. Plugin installation takes time actually.
So if we are installing plugin via like Eclipse, like we did right now,
Hmm.
then why did you ask us to download Groovy?
Okay,
I'm
Groovy.
just asking.
Yeah, okay, okay, fine. So actually, initially I thought that we will do it with Groovy exe, but if you have Java 8 and above, it Groovy works in that. So
Okay.
you can keep it with you now for now exe.
Mhm.
So you can separately install Groovy and do Groovy programming. But if you have
Okay.
Java 8 installed already, then there is no need. So it works fine with the Java 8 as well. Okay. So guys, I don't know if any of you are interested, but I have got this message on LinkedIn. There is a webinar, I believe it is free on RPA. So if anybody is interested, I will share it on WhatsApp. So
Okay.
if you want to check it out, I'm posting it on WhatsApp. If you want to check it out.
I guess some issue with my installation.
One second, what is the problem? Oh, okay, say okay. Okay, so we will try to figure it out later on. Yeah,
Yeah.
so anybody got installation done successfully? Kirti,
Yes.
yours
Yes.
is done?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Okay, fine. So others, I hope it is done right. Pallavi and
Mine is still in progress, actually. It's halfway through.
Yeah, mine is also in progress.
okay, so since Kirti is in US, her net is fast, but generally it takes time, so don't worry about it. Sandeep, I'll help you maybe a little later, today or tomorrow, to fix that problem.
Fine, no problem.
But otherwise, so Kirti, can you please share your screen?
Yeah.
Okay, now what we will do is, like we create a Java project, we can also create Groovy project. So go to File, New, Other, go to Other, and type a filter, call it Groovy. Yeah, so can you see
Groovy project.
Groovy project? Yeah, select Groovy project. So give it any name of your choice. Yeah, and then you can say finish if you want to. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, so we will do some basic Groovy programming. I'm sharing my one link with you. If you want, you can open that as well, Kirti.
Yeah.
So I'm sharing on the chat, on the Zoom chat. So okay, so this particular language, which is Groovy, is very much similar to Java, except that you can do some scripting, and it is little more easy and a little bit, or I should say, more powerful, and you can do more things than what you can do in your normal Java programming. So my Eclipse is still coming up, Kirti. So can you open that link which I shared with you?
So just a second. Oh, I'm not able to see the chat window.
Okay, I'll send it on WhatsApp.
Okay.
Yeah, I've sent it on WhatsApp. You want me to mail it?
No, it's okay. I have it.
Okay, so if you will come down a little bit, so basically, while my script, the Eclipse is coming up, we'll do it on your machine, Kirti. So,
Yeah.
or it's already up. Can you stop sharing? I can share my screen now. Okay, so it's a simple programming language. I'm not going to go too deep into this. We'll just cover enough so that we can do our scripting of SOAP UI. So it's an object-oriented scripting language which provides dynamic, easy to use and integration capabilities to JVM. It absorbs most of the syntax from Java and is much more powerful in terms of functionalities, which is manifested in the form of closure, dynamic typing, builders, etc. So I'll explain these terms later on. Groovy also provides simplified API for accessing database and XML. Okay, so it's okay if you don't understand this completely. Some of it we'll revisit later, but for now. So generally, as a Java program, what we tend to do is we will have a public main class, sorry, a class with public static void main, right, guys, girls, Kirti?
Yeah.
But when it comes to Groovy, okay, in Groovy, you can simply or pretty much say print and hello without any class or without any of that. So if I, let me just create a file. So let me go here, new, I'll create a class. Okay. So I'll choose a Groovy class. I'll say next. I'll say Groove group one. Okay, so it has an extension of .groovy. So it is your wish whether you want to have it as an extension groovy, or it can be a file without extension also, right? So actually I don't even need this. So generally in Java what we do, we say that class has a main has statement, right? But in Groovy we can simply say print of in double quotes, welcome to Groovy1, right? So that's all I need to do. And I will right click here on this file, run as Groovy script, right? So welcome to Groovy, right? So can you please, all of you, please create a single file with an extension .groovy and right click and see if you are able to execute Groovy from your Eclipse or not.
So we need to go to file new and then how
No,
to.
filter type file new, others, and type Groovy,
Okay.
and you can filter it by the
Yeah, got that.
found it.
Groovy class.
Yeah, so you can delete that class whatever is created, simply type print welcome
Yeah.
to Groovy. Pallavi, Smita, Sandeep, did you try that again? You're still
Yeah, I got the same error. Yes.
okay. Okay, I will talk to you maybe later today and see what we can do.
Sure. Okay. I guess I have old Eclipse and that could be the issue.
Which one you have?
Let me check.
Okay. Meanwhile, okay,
I think
just
Mars I have.
okay. So can you take that from that API resources? I have given a link of the latest. Not that is not latest, but can
Yeah.
you download that?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Done, Kirti?
What is the extension for this, Groovy?
Actually, you don't need an extension, but you can keep it as Groovy. It works without any extension also for Groovy.
Okay. And we just have to specify the name of the class, right?
Yeah, just share your screen. Let me see what you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have given name and then just once close this. No, so
Close?
you have to create a Groovy project first. Close it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
First create a Groovy project and then create a Groovy class. New,
Fine.
other, go to other.
Sorry.
Slowly.
Yeah, actually I don't have a mouse right now. So.
Okay. Go to other.
Other?
Yeah. Type Groovy. So first select a Groovy project.
Mm-hmm.
Give it some name. And say finish. You can leave it as is, finish it. So you can say yes here. So Pallavi, is it running for you?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, now extend your Groovy project one, expand it. Right click on SRC. New, right click and new. New, go to other. So Groovy class is there, right? Yeah, this one, Groovy class. Click on that. Give it any name. Finish. Yeah, finish. Okay, delete Control A and delete everything and just say print in the double quotes, welcome to Groovy. Small, yeah, print space welcome to, yeah, save it and right click and run as Groovy script. Third option from the top. Third, yeah, run it. Yeah, run Groovy script. Yeah, so Kirti and Pallavi, you both are done?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So it's already time. We'll continue with Groovy scripting tomorrow, and then we will come back and start using Groovy scripting for automation using SOAP UI. Fine. So I will put the recording on YouTube in half an hour. So Sandeep, if possible, go through the recording. Okay.
Yes.
And I mean, what I'm going to discuss next has got nothing to do with what I did in the first half, but if possible, please practice it because later on we'll need it anyway.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, guys, girls, then thank you for your time and please join on time.
Harish,
Yeah.
there's one question.
Yeah.
So, like we are using a Groovy script in this Eclipse. There is one thing that in SOAP UI also we can do the automation. Like we can write the code and everything in SOAP UI
Yeah,
only. And we
yeah.
can
So I'm teaching Groovy scripting to you in Eclipse, and then we'll go to SOAP UI and do the Groovy coding there only.
okay.
I'm
So,
just going to teach some basics of Groovy programming here, and then
okay.
we'll use SOAP UI only.
Achha.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Any question?
No.
Okay, fine. Then thank you so much, guys, and please
Thank you.
join on time tomorrow so that we can start without losing time. Okay. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. I'll
Thank
see
you.
you tomorrow same time. Thank you.